Hello everyone, this is Olga show from you to you every Saturday night. How are you today? We just finished our wonderful interview with Roger Ruiz and we came back with another guest. This time from high tech into art. Because we're going to be seeing, painting and speaking to one of the artists who weren't born in California but was inspired by California and also photography, because now I met him at high tech conference. And here he is. He's multi-talented photographer and artist and doing so many things. Hello, Mr. Salvatore. Are you Italian?
Yes.
Okay, so you know we have American Italian Heritage Foundation. Stay tuned. That interview would be next week.
Okay.
From American Italian
I'll have to
Heritage
check that out.
Foundation. Yes, I'm gonna bring the members for sure. So tell about yourself. When did you come to California and why?
I came in 1969 and I transferred to college at San Jose State. And I wanted to major in photography because where I was going before that in Vermont, a small college called Castleton State, had no credit, no nothing. You volunteered for everything, and then I figured, well, shoot, I ought to get credit for this. So I transferred to San Jose State, got accepted in the photojournalism, and then came here in '69. It was my first flight ever from Boston, and I just never looked back because I figured that when I got into photography and then really tried to excel at it, it was a whole new ballgame. Vermont had nothing. The most I could make in that time was about $100 a week. So I just figured this is much better. And also I really liked the weather. Vermont was terrible. I mean, we used to call it varmint or vomit or worse. My favorite song, my theme song, was "We Got to Get Out of This Place" by the Animals. So that's why I came here, and then I started my own business shortly after I graduated, and so on.
So while you're doing photography, you did pictures of famous artists, actually singers. Some of them I never heard while growing up. Would you please give some names? I mean, I'm lucky when I can see those pictures right now. It's done in wonderful book. Let's show to our. Here's the book, Salvatore. Okay, and here's the photographs of different people.
Jimi Hendrix was one of my favorite performers at the time, and I bought his first album when I was at Castleton in '67, and then I got a chance to see him. It was one of his last concerts ever in the U.S., which was May 30th, 1970, and he was great. It was at Berkeley Community Center. I was fortunate because I just went where I could to take pictures. In those days, they really didn't have many restrictions. You could just go and take pictures. And so luckily, they had folding chairs in the front. There were about maybe 10 rows of folding chairs. But what happened was, as soon as he started playing, everybody got out of the folding chairs and went and jammed for the stage. There were probably 3 rows deep at the stage at the time. So I had my choice of any chair I wanted to stand on, and I was no more than maybe 10 feet from Hendrix and took a whole bunch of shots. By the way, they just printed a stamp of Jimi Hendrix, and it's such a shame because it was just a artwork and it was terrible. And I just feel this is the shot they should have put on that stamp.
Yeah, maybe you should keep marketing. See, at the time I didn't know you, so
call the stamp people and tell them this is what Hendrix should look like.
Yeah.
Because he really seems in his element in that shot.
Oh
yeah, this is like I feel him singing right there.
Oh yeah, he was great, and so it's too bad the post office lost out. Anyway, I took pictures of Frank Zappa, and that was a friend of mine, and he went with me to see him. And I got some. These are actually behind-the-scenes shots. They aren't even when he was in concert. He was performing or just warming up backstage or on the stage, and it was also at the Berkeley Community Center. And he was just practicing some songs, and so that was kind of neat. Shot of Elvin Bishop. He's still around. He still plays around the Bay Area, and I got to see him lots of times. Mike Bloomfield. He died of a drug overdose. but he was a very famous blues musician. Nick Ravenites was singing with him. Joan Baez still plays. She has a concert in the Mountain Winery coming up, and so she was at San Jose State. She was a scholar in residence, and here she is with her son Gabriel, and he's probably in his 40s by now. But that's how long ago that was taken. Cannonball Adderley, and with his brother Nat Adderley, and with Joe Zawino. All these players have died since, but they were great. They played at the not the Student Union, the Morris Daly Auditorium, which was a real crummy venue, but I managed to get a couple of nice shots. Nina Simone, she's also deceased, but she was a great performer and a great pianist.
I know that you have a studio in Santa Clara.
Yes.
Can the people come and pay attention to those pictures, perhaps? Have the shots of those famous singers and people you took the photos,
Well,
and perhaps order?
Yeah, they could. The only thing is, though, all of these are in my book. That's it. That's where I put them. But I could also make them. I could make prints for them if they ever wanted. Here's another concert, the Spring Inn, May 16th, 1970. They had a bunch of blues performers. There's Albert King, who I think is a cousin of B.B. King. There's Les McCann. He's still alive. There's Bob Hite and Henry Vestine and Larry the Mole Taylor of Canned Heat. Two of the three are dead. Heavy into drugs, unfortunately. I thought Canned Heat was a great group. Ian Anderson of Jethro Tull, great flute player, still plays, still performs. Here's Grace Slick of Jefferson Airplane. She no longer performs, but she's an artist, and she's painted lots of paintings of famous musicians. She was good friends with Jimi Hendrix and Jim Morrison and a few others, and she's made paintings of them.
No, from San Jose State, we have board operator from San Jose State University, Karina. Hi, Karina. Everybody say hi to Karina.
Hi, Karina.
Hi, Karina.
And so it happened we have a lot of students from San Jose State University.
Mhm.
And so you got BS and even master degree in photojournalism?
No, I got a BA in photojournalism, and then I got accepted by the master's program. I didn't finish the thesis, and that's the only thing that prevented me from getting a master's degree. I was in mass communications. It was kind of a waste of time. I just got involved in photography at the time, and I just kept going with it in my business.
So you had too many famous people to hang out with, so you didn't want to stay in the school? Got
No.
distracted?
Well, I just didn't have time, and so I just got too busy. So then I wrote this book. I wrote another book too. I wrote a book on health. I'm really into health and alternative methods. I feel like the medical industry is very destructive towards the populace. I just don't like where they're headed. I think the FDA is totally corrupt. And as well as the pharmaceutical industry. I feel they're releasing drugs prematurely and killing lots of people unnecessarily. And I just feel like there's a lot of alternative methods that aren't being released because they're being suppressed. They're being suppressed by the medical industry and the FDA and others, and politicians who are actually getting lots of money in donations from the medical industry. And I just feel like my book exposes some of the different alternative treatments that are very viable, such as Protocell 50, which is it's a cancer treatment, but they can't even publicize it as a cancer treatment because the FDA tells them that that's illegal. In fact, if you try to cure cancer by any method other than the standard chemo and radiation and surgery, you can either get arrested, get denounced by the medical community, or have to move out of the country to practice the methods that you want to. So I just feel strongly that this is wrong. I think that the government ought to do something about this. I also think, like, what are those commercials all about? The medical commercials that you see for pharmaceutical drugs. And they're always saying some disclaimers like, you can die from this. Almost every one of them you can die from. And I'm going, what is going on here? These things should not be on the airwaves. So anyway, that's a whole nother ball game.
So what's the name of the book if people will be searching?
Oh, it's called Secrets to Eternal Youth.
And Secrets to
Eternal Youth.
Eternal Youth. Is it available on Amazon?
Yes.
All right. So this is your second book about art. And I also see pictures of your paintings here created. So how that came to you?
Well, I think all these were in the back of my head for many years, and I just never let them out until 10 years ago. I had 24 cans of paint left over from my house. I was painting the interior of my house, so I went to Kellymore, bought quarts of paint. So I had 2 boxes. They come 12 to a box, and I'm sure everybody's seen them. And they hold all the paint. And I just had 2 whole boxes of these things. And I said, well, what am I going to do with this? Am I going to throw it away or use it?
Use it. Yeah.
So I went to University of Art on Meridian and bought a couple of canvases. I carried them on the top of my car, holding the canvases as I drove.
That's
Because I didn't have any
Was
way.
it like open cans or hopefully closed cans?
They were canvases.
Oh, canvases.
And so I just held them on the top of my roof while I was driving.
See?
I went on the side streets. I didn't take the freeway.
That would be challenging on
Yeah.
freeways.
And I went about 20. So I slowly went back to my place, and I just, then I had all the cans there sitting around. I opened every single one of them on my first painting, which
Yes.
is right here. And it's called Palace Hill. Palace Hill is the name of one of the paints that I used.
That's gorgeous.
And that's my first painting.
All right. So
Wow.
not bad for the beginner.
Yeah. And I never had an art course.
Ooh.
Okay.
Well, I've taken a couple art courses throughout my school, and I can't paint anything like that, so they might be overvalued.
Yeah.
You seem to be. That seems to be like a lot of abstract art. What type of art would you say you do?
Abstract expressionist.
Abstract expressionist.
Mostly. And I also got into a little bit of figurative paintings that are kind of have designs in them that
Yes.
you can that are readily discernible, but
I see a banana.
nevertheless they're very abstract.
Yes.
Yeah.
Crescent
There's a
You
moon.
can see moon and
Banana. I think part of a bicycle wheel.
That's in a jitney with Copernicus. So that's a
Ooh.
jitney.
So what did you try to say with this painting?
Well, this one, I guess I was thinking about India. I was kind of channeling India. And India has, especially in the big cities like Bombay and Delhi and so on, they have things called jitneys. And what they do is they travel around all over the city. They take people on little excursions. And oftentimes they're pedaled. Sometimes they also are run by gasoline where they can putt around the city. And so, and they usually hold just 2 passengers. Sometimes you can squeeze in 3, but somebody's usually pedaling this thing, and it's a little cart. And I was just kind of, I don't know, I didn't even name
I
this.
see the eye under this car.
Oh.
What that's all about?
Well, that's
That's
like
the result of Indian
traveler.
traffic.
Indian traffic, so
Yeah.
you have to watch everywhere.
yeah.
Yes, no. Abstract expressionism is a great way to represent Indian traffic. I'm sure if
Yeah.
you took a photo of just any street in India, it'd basically be abstract.
All right.
And here's the smog coming out, and then you've got all kinds of other little things that you might see along the route, and so on. And this is the crescent moon, which you see at night, of course, and a lot of these jitneys are going on at night because that's when people like to travel. So I don't know. And then I have some characters here that are possibly maybe Sanskrit. I don't know. But I was just thinking. I was just channeling different things. There is, if you'll notice, there is a camel in here.
Let's
Wow.
see.
Right
Find the
there.
camel. Oh, that. Yeah.
That
now
is-
as we're talking, we can
Oh
see
yes,
camel.
I can
here.
see a camel.
Because it's so many things and the paintings. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, as you mentioned.
Yeah, so there's things that are going on in here that kind of intermingle or intertwine or something.
Now, is that the tail of the fish, or what is this? Or I
Looks
don't
like
know.
a dove to me.
Dove, dolphin.
Yeah, it could be a tail, but it's again, it's very abstract, and I would say more like a maybe a bird or something like that.
Okay, bird is good too. Yeah,
Wow.
it's white bird piece. So now I met you at Ethernet Summit. What brought you to high-tech conferences?
Oh, well, the person that runs it, his name is Chip Stockton, and he's been running these summits for quite a while. And he somehow found me through the grapevine, maybe on the internet, I don't know, because I have a website, and called me out of the blue and just said, can you shoot pictures for me? This was years ago. And so I said, sure. So I started shooting all these summits for him. And he usually has about 3 a year up here. So I've been shooting a lot of them.
Right. And of course, besides smart people in those conferences and dedicated engineers and marketing and all of the people who make our technology and Ethernet running, you have to do all of those detailed work of chip design or boards. What do you find exciting about that?
Well, I like the flash memory summit.
Okay,
Those
it's
are nice
coming up.
because that's something that I'm involved in. I use these compact flash cards all the time in my camera. So I meet a lot of people at these conferences. Like there might be Lexar who makes these flash cards. They're very popular. And there's several others. There's some local ones too. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, and you probably like asking them, so how many gigs or how many, not petabytes yet we can hide in those cards, but someday maybe.
Usually
I think
8 gigs.
I think 1 petabyte card would probably last you the rest of forever, because that's like 1,000,000 gigabytes.
You would be surprised. Just my programs on Saturday night alone
Wow.
probably reached that
Yeah,
high
SanDisk.
in.
I get SanDisk cards, although SanDisk gets counterfeited, so I don't use them anymore. I've gotten my share of a couple of SanDisk counterfeits, and
And
that
here
doesn't
I
do you any
have
good.
one SanDisk, 32.
Oh,
32
that's
gigs.
good size.
32 gigs, see, and it's actually in, very light, we can hold it in our fingers. Wasn't like that before for 32 gigs, for sure.
No.
Oh, yeah.
How many pictures you can do? Of course, you have
That
to
one,
megapixels and clarity and how many colors and so forth.
Oh yeah, I would say you get a few thousand shots out of that easy. So, but I only go up to 8 because most of the time I don't need much more than 1,000 shots on any one card or any one appointment. And but I use a very large format camera. I use a Nikon D3 as well as a Nikon D800.
And I noticed that you also have that studio where you can do your own prints, which I don't think too many photographers doing that. They do
None.
digital photos and they just post on internet, and that's about it.
They send it all out for printing, and but I'm from the old school because way back around 1980, I just got fed up with sending stuff out to labs, and I just said, well, I'm just going to bite the bullet and spend the money and just get all my own equipment and print it all myself. And that was the best move I ever made because I didn't have to answer to anybody. And now I still print, but everything is fantastically less in size, decreased in size. So now instead of a big machine that's like 8 feet high and 6 feet long, you have a machine that's only 2 feet wide by 2 feet and maybe 2 feet high, and it's fantastic. I print everything on it, and it's a Noritsu. Noritsu is one of the biggest manufacturers in photography. Most of the Noritsu machines you'll see in places like Costco or Target or Walmart. A lot of them use Noritsu machines to print all their stuff.
Now, I remember talking to you. You said that you went to one of the museum exhibition, and you even sold your painting, which inspired you to do even more.
Oh yeah,
Being just new to this industry.
Oh yeah, I got invited to a art fair at the Triton Museum. They used to have an art fair.
And Triton Museum used to be in Santa Clara.
They're still in Santa Clara.
Still in Santa Clara.
And I think it was called the Art Fest, and you had to get juried in. Jury is where you have a person who is very familiar with the art world, and this guy's name is George Rivera. He's still around. He's at Mission College now, but he was the curator of Triton Museum. So I was buying all my canvases over at University Art, and then one of the clerks there, who worked there for a long time, his name is Jeff, told me, he said, Wayne, why don't you go to one of our invitations to be in the Triton Museum Art Fest. So I said, okay, I'll give it a try. So I brought a whole bunch of big paintings, 48 by 60s and so on. And George Rivera liked them. So he juried me in. I got into my first art show. So I went that and had a kind of one of those big setups with like a tent. And I showed off all my stuff, and then lo and behold, I sold my first piece. It was for about $2,000. It's called Botanica, and
that was when, like 19?
It's about 6 or 7 years, maybe 7 or
okay.
No, that was about 8 or 9 years ago.
All right.
Yeah. So right after I started, and Botanica is in my book, and the.
So you just have a picture of this right now because you had only one paint now.
Yeah, so somebody owns it. So I don't have a copy anymore.
So now, knowing that you're artist and going into high tech, you have an education in photojournalism, and then here's Botanica. So you don't have that piece anymore.
No.
That's first. All right.
First sale.
So all abstractionism
Yes,
here. Lots of yellow, red, and black.
And gray.
And green. Some green, like yellow, greenish. I bet some of the colors of the paints change it because they just combine with each other.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
when they mix together, yeah, they definitely get a different color sometimes.
Did you have any special thoughts in mind or any feelings that you tried to put onto this piece?
Not really. I mainly I painted the background kind of a neutral color. It's a light color, and then I took a Cy Twombly approach, and I just started slinging paint around, and then I painted over it with the metallic silver, or actually aluminum. It's called aluminum paint, and then painted some reds and yellows. I did these colors, the main colors here, with the aluminum and yellow and red. While it was still wet. And when you do things that are wet, you can get some really strange occurrences. There seems to be a chemical reaction sometimes with some of the paint. So that's the way it came out.
Plus, of course, what kind of energy you put into it. It could be positive energy, negative energy, anger.
Always positive.
Always positive.
Paint positively.
But then I see another paint, which is real paint you brought here.
Yeah, I brought it.
That's
a
a lot of red.
Wow.
Looks like a fire, but I also see flowers. So tell me all about that.
This one's called firegrass, and
Oh, I was
firegrass.
right. Yeah. Who doesn't see fire here? I see grass, but I see some flowers. Is it?
Yeah, there's I was into a different mode in that I wasn't slinging paint around when I was doing all these. I was mainly actually painting with a brush instead of maybe the end of the brush.
Okay.
So I was I had decided I wanted to put some these are kind of rosy kind of colors, and then I put some flowers in here.
Okay.
As well as more flowery colors like the purple and the green that like resembles the leaves. And so I just I decided to do this as a kind of a flowery presentation. And the only thing I want to do about this later is I bought an 8 by 75 foot canvas. And I want to cut it down to smaller sizes, say about 8 by 15 or something, and do a much larger version of this.
And I know that you as an artist donated some of your paintings to non-profit organizations.
Oh yeah, there's one painting I recently donated to Dart for Art. Dart for Art is a organization that raises money for Lyme disease. And it's one of the last paintings I've done. And it's right here. It's called Time Was. Time Was is one of my favorite songs by Canned Heat. It was done around the late 60s. And so what I did was, it was 36 by 48, so it was one of the bigger paintings donated at that function. And what people do, Dart for Art, is simply people donate oftentimes thousands of dollars to get a chance to what they call Dart for Art, which means what they do is they take around 5 or 10 people at a time, and they stand in a line, and then there's all the paintings in a certain area, and they dart for it. They run for the painting they want.
Oh my God!
Wow, that
Yes.
sounds like a lot of fun. This is one of those art events that you actually have to do physical training to before.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
have to pay
yes.
for it and run for it. It's like a lot of things involved.
Oh yeah, and so this was one of the ones that was darted for right away. In fact,
Yeah, because it's a lot of orange color in it. If I see orange, do you see my nail polish orange and my lipstick? I wanted
Oh.
to wear other outfit, but so happened to be I used Narakamichi outfit today again, and yeah, that orange color you can see bright far away. So is my nails, right? Orange.
oh, definitely.
Yes. The painting is really energetic, just bright.
Yeah, I just wanted to do something special for them. I didn't want to do a tiny little piece and be cheap about it, so I just went for it and just gave them a piece that I thought would generate a lot of enthusiasm, and it did. There were a lot of people who wanted that painting, and quite a few were disappointed that they didn't get it. So,
Well,
Survival of the
and they,
fittest.
yeah, and that was valued at $5,000. So they made a nice little pretty penny on that, because later on I saw that they had raised a lot of money. One lady donated $1 million
Wow.
for Lyme disease.
can we have
Wow.
know her name? I would like her at my show and learn how I can donate $1 million.
I can find her name. She's in. I think she lives in Woodside.
All right, that's the people we also want to learn from. Those from little to big ones, because that's good. They don't forget about our community. Well, thank you, Wayne Salvatore, coming to our show. We're gonna learn Russian with you in about few seconds here. This is Olga show from you to you. Our interview will be available.
Listening to U92.
All right.